how it all started, right, was obviously with, us joining forces and us learning how to connect people the right way and providing a space to where people can connect and do deals, right? And
Yeah.
over the time, like I was always saying, there's something missing. There's something missing, and I can't pinpoint it. I don't know what it is, but everyone was like always texting or calling, hey, I went to your Fort Lauderdale with Scott and who is that gentleman or woman who I
Yeah.
spoke to that worked in this industry and how could I get their number, right? So all these questions and then just communication was just a big problem, right? So for what I've been doing the past actually 8 years, we've been having the meetups, and then we joined forces 4 years ago. But I've just been learning. Right? I've been learning how.
Welcome to the Yacht Captain Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Kidd, where every week we dive deep into conversations with real estate pros, business owners, and maritime professionals about their mindset and journey to success. Please help support us on our journey and our channel by liking, subscribing, and commenting below so we can help you in your journey to success. Welcome and hello today. This is Scott Kidd, the Yacht Captain Investor on the Yacht Captain Investor Podcast. I have my good friend here, Eric Greenstein of Like Minded Pro. He and I have been collaborating for years on meetups and stuff, and it's evolved into a lot of great things. How you doing today, Eric?
Oh man, thank you so much, Scott, for having me on your podcast. I really appreciate it. You doing some great things. Wonderful, connecting, and we really appreciate it. And yeah, man, I mean, we've been working together for a couple of years already. It's kind of
Yeah,
nuts about that.
I think it's close to 4, maybe.
At
I don't know. It's gone by pretty fast.
At least 4 years. So
Yeah.
it's just so weird how things just evolve, and that's the thing, right? It's like persistence, right? Just keep it going. And if it fits what you love to do, like why not, right? So, and that's where, all this kind of came about, right?
Yeah, it most definitely did. I mean, we were just like talking one day, me, you and Bobby Sharma, and it's like, well, we're doing meetups at the same time. Why don't we just combine? And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I was like yourself, probably apprehensive. I'm like, how's this going to work? And we're just like, well, we'll see how it goes. And it's been great ever since. It's just morphed into a lot of different things. We've been lucky to be connected to a lot of people, and everything's growing and evolving. And you're going nationwide, and you've since morphed into really doing a lot of stuff in the software space, where that's what your company really kind of is right now, is really just software based. It started out in the real estate, but it's not just real estate and everything else. That's where we connected. That's where our commonality is. But tell us a little bit about the evolution of what Like Minded Pro has evolved into.
Yeah, well, again, kind of just for the audience, how it all started, right, was obviously with, us joining forces and us learning how to connect people the right way and providing a space to where people can connect and do deals, right? And
Yeah.
over the time, like I was always saying, there's something missing. There's something missing, and I can't pinpoint it. I don't know what it is, but everyone was like always texting or calling, hey, I went to your Fort Lauderdale with Scott and who is that gentleman or woman who I
Yeah.
spoke to that worked in this industry and how could I get their number, right? So all these questions and then just communication was just a big problem, right? So for what I've been doing the past actually 8 years, we've been having the meetups, and then we joined forces 4 years ago. But I've just been learning. Right? I've been learning how people react and interact with others, and what's best for networking in general. Right? Of course, I'm a real estate investor, and we would all join forces and hang out every single month, but getting their contact information, either having them sign like a form and then following up, and then that attendee wanting other contact information that they saw there. It was just very difficult. So that's kind of where I came out with likemindedpro.com. Basically what we do is exactly that, right? Our slogan is really what it stands for, right? Which is obviously, you want to connect and you want to communicate and you want to get deals done, and that's the only way to do it. So and that's what it does, right? So you show up, you register. If you already registered, then you don't have to. You just sign in, check in on your phone, or you scan the sheet that we have and the QR code, and there you go. Like, you're checked in, and you can see everyone's in the room. You can see who they are, what they look like if they put the picture. You can see what they do, and then you could once you connect with them. And you have to be in person. It's the catch here, because it's not like another LinkedIn. You can't search for people, and for us, we want to bring people to the actual events, right, or meetup,
Yeah.
and that's where it all happens. That's where real relationships are built, in person. So for us to have a system where it understands that you're there, you check in, then you can contact. You have 24 hours after the meetup or event to go back and actually start looking at who you missed. It's a missed opportunity. It could be, your capital person, right? Or it could be, oh man, someone wants to JV on a duplex or a triplex or a tenplex, and that's what they have as their goal. There you go. Like, you're not going to miss any more opportunities, and that was the problem. So,
Yeah.
um,
Most definitely. I know that used to be, for me, networking was, grabbing the business cards, and a big hack that I would do is I would write down something about them on the back. Cause like when, at the end of the day, when you get home the next morning, when you're going through it, you got all these business cards and like, who is this again? Who is that again? Who's
I
that? And
I go straight to the trash.
yeah, yeah, you're like, oh, I don't
Uh,
know, and then then even that as that evolved, you get people's names in your phone or whatever, and then you're like, you don't remember their name, then it doesn't really matter, because it's just like that lost business card. But with the like-minded pro software, you can actually see, okay, all these people are at the event, okay, boom, 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 connect with them, collaborate or whatever you have, shoot them a message, say, hey, you want to get together again, or you want to get on a call because people had a good conversation yesterday, and we're just, hey, following up because you were looking for somebody that could do a roof on your commercial building. I got this guy, Johnny over here. He can help you out with that, and or you need insurance or what have you. And that's what it's all about, really
yeah.
is making those effective connections and relationships that everybody needs something at some time. We all do. So, it's more effective that way. And that's what I really like about it. And, you and I gravitated together because there's nobody selling anybody anything. We're all just there kind of trying to figure it out and help each other and pull together. Because a lot of times you don't realize you might need that extra person, or you don't know what you don't know. So you don't know that you need that person.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, 100%. But it's all about, realistically these days. It's the communication aspect, right? And that's where we filled that gap. It's actually kind of cool too, because I've always wondered of like searchability, right? And the utilization of actually trying to find like a company, or trying to find a deal, or just scraping the internet just to find like a mixed use unit. That's what I'm looking for right now, is a smaller mixed use, couple of condos or apartments on top, or units on top, with like a two storefront, small. But we actually did this really cool thing, and I'll share my screen, whenever we
Okay, cool,
can.
cool. Yeah, go ahead.
And it's pretty sweet because it actually searches, and we have it on there. We have it people for people to use it, like you or anyone that actually signs up and goes back. Even it's even actually on like the main homepage. You have 10 searches before it asks you to actually create a profile. But we want it to be more of an ecosystem. We want it to be of you come here to communicate, you come here to find deals or do deals or find your partners or again, this also is pretty cool because it doesn't really have to be in real estate, right? And we're actually getting into other industries like the interior design industry and the arts industry. So over the time, it's going to be one big platform and ecosystem, so where people can communicate and have a really interesting and unique way of a community, right? And that's for the attendees, right? Obviously, our second aspect is for hosts, and you don't have to. It doesn't have to be a like-minded event or meetup. Like you can be Joe Schmo's, plumbing event. Like I don't care, right? It's
Yeah,
just again, at the end of the day, this is a tool that all organizers or marketers or really any company that just wants foot traffic in their business, right? Like right, we have meetups in a furniture showroom, right? And it's because they just want foot traffic to kind of get people in there. And it's great because most people are in real estate, and what do people in real estate need? They need furniture to furnish their homes, right? Or staging
yeah.
their homes, or for a big
Short-term rental, midterm
or
rental.
rental, right? Or Airbnb. Everyone needs something like that. So it
Yeah,
just made sense, right? So for our hosts or our partners, those are the companies or people that really want to be in front of the right people in their city, right? Whether if it's in LA or Colorado, wherever, right? We can do it anywhere, but it's a tool, and that's what we built. So again, you have like two aspects of it. You have the attendee side, which is great. All of us go to meetups, and if that organizer uses Like Minded Pro, then you'll be able to actually go on there, use the platform and use everything else that's associated with it, and then start connecting with other people and maybe even other industries. I haven't even thought about that yet, right? Which would be kind of cool. If it's not just real estate, they can actually just filter and go to other industries on there, and if they're in need of, like, I don't know, a lawyer or something, right?
yeah,
And it's there, then that's pretty cool. So
yeah,
we want to build this as a very sophisticated ecosystem for professionals.
yeah. I mean, that's great. Because it actually ties a lot of makes it easier for people doing any kind of event to be able to connect with more people and actually make their events more efficient because they can track who's there, who's coming, who to invite again. Hey, maybe this location works a little better than other places. They can actually have actual data to where they can make those decisions and say, hey, well, this one isn't building that much traction. What do we need to do to make that happen? Or maybe we need to move to another place. But that's really, really great because I know it's benefited for me because it took me a little bit to get my head around it because it actually simplified what we're trying to do and everything else. And,
Yeah,
it's beneficial for other people because they're getting it now. And everyone's going to be part of a bigger community because all of it is really building a community.
that's it. That's it. And that's it right there, right? We also want people to trust other people, and that's where it's different, right? You go on LinkedIn, you can search for anyone, you can connect with anyone, then you get a bunch of emails and messages about, hey, I can help you do this. I never met you before,
Yeah.
right? Why would I do business with you when I never met you before, right?
Yeah.
It's just like the whole concept is you have to be in the room in order to connect. And that's how it would be anyways if you were in person
Yeah.
at a meetup. But this is just an additional tool so where then you can go back and follow up and communicate and start calling people on the list, man. And it's been awesome. I mean, I obviously use it all the time because
Yeah, yeah.
I basically built it for myself, and then realized that this could be utilized for everyone else that's in this networking aspect of business. So
Well, one thing I realize is that, some people are, especially the younger people, are better at connecting digitally, and they'll message people a lot easier, like through the software. And then when they get to the venue, they already have that kind of rapport already. So then they already kind of know the people a little bit, and then they're meeting in person. And that just kind of
that's
reinforces it. So that's helpful too, because I know, a lot of people I have met on LinkedIn or on other platforms, and then I meet them in person. Then it just, hey, I've known you for a couple of years on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and then you meet them in person. It's like, okay, and they're actually exactly who they say they are. So that, that makes it a lot easier because it provides multiple touches.
correct. Yeah, man. But yeah, so kind of going back to obviously why and why we're doing this, and that's it right there. It's just really just trying to make people more comfortable with who they meet in person, you know, get their information, and then you can always follow up with them with ease, without pulling out and figuring out who that was or what they looked like or what they did, or what their name is, right? Because all that's on there. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's kind of how it all happened. I actually wanted to show you this. This is cool because
Okay.
this is kind
Great.
of like a newer thing that we have, so basically when you go to Like Minded Pro, it's called Smart Search, that's what we call it. And what I did was I again, all of this was what I was doing, right? Meaning what I needed to do my job and how efficiently. And that's how this all became. It just wasn't like I was thinking of things and I put it all together. This was actually done because this is how I operate, right? So basically if you were to go and search like property management, right?
Okay.
Companies and you're in where you are, you're in
To
Jupiter.
say Stewart, probably get more. Yeah.
All right. So basically, what it does is it pulls up all of the property management companies that are in your area,
Oh,
right?
nice.
And you can contact them. You can see where they're located. You can even, if you were to contact them about like an opportunity that you have, say like you have a rental property, and I want to know who the salesperson is, right? So what this does is you go here and it actually pulls up who's in sales at that company.
Nice.
Right. So it kind of identifies like a really good understanding of kind of what that is. Now, that's basically like the company search. But if I wanted to say, duplexes in Fort Lauderdale for sale, right? What it's going to do is it's going to pull up in Spider through our like deals that people are posting, or or um, internet
Local deals.
internet
Okay, local
deals,
deals.
right? So what it does is it will pull up like multifamily. When you go and click, it will actually give you, if it's on Trulia, like Redfin. So it's not going to pull up the actual listing here, but what's really cool is it gives you an idea of kind of where it is, and then we have our AI powered, like intelligent marketer intelligent, where it actually goes through like these are what's listed for how much and where, and
Oh,
then
nice.
and then you have your resources here, right? So obviously, you go to Redfin and it'll pull up all of like the multifamilies, or duplexes in Fort Lauderdale. So it's more of like a quick search all in one place, and then it takes you to the actual source of where the information is. And this is all on everyone's, when they sign up, they have this access to this, right? So I thought this was pretty cool because it's like, it's different, You know, it's not just another networking tool. It's networking plus leads plus let me find something faster in real estate,
Yeah,
or let me contact someone in Atlanta, right? I don't really know any
yeah,
property managers in Atlanta, so this will be like a very quick, easy way of just finding that, and it's right in front
yeah.
of you, laid out perfectly. I did want to actually go over this because this is like the like when you hold on. When you go and post, I have to sign in. Sorry. So when I go and post, and this is kind of cool too because we're definitely gonna have you on here, Scott,
Nice.
because we're gonna have courses and professional services and business for sale, distressed assets, off market land, commercial, rental, fix and flip, wholesale or other. And you could basically, as a user, you can post anything that you have that's for sale or for lease or a course.
Yeah,
So it's a tad bit different. And once you're in like your own like home, you can actually go and look at what networking feeds are, and then you could view opportunities, which this is really cool because this actually shows what opportunities are around. And when you sign up, this is what we ask you. What are you looking at this for, right? Is it to meet amazing people, network with local investors, 3 to 5 month off our direct seller, is a wholesaler, all of the above. People are just basically saying like, I'm here to make connections or do deals, or I have this amount of money to basically invest or partner with someone, right? And then you can message them through the app. So
nice.
that's kind of how that's set up. And again, I'm just going kind of fast here because I don't really want to like, board people here. But but yeah, man. So like that's kind of how that works. And of course you have your this is why we're all here is we have the Fort Lauderdale meetup, and
Yeah,
this
that's next
good looking
week.
gentleman here is one of your hosts. And this not so good looking gentleman here is a host. I don't know
Don't sell yourself short there, man.
I don't know where that guy came from, but this is kind of what I wanted to show, and I'm glad that this is kind of like live action. So now that I'm already RSVP'd, I can't check in, but because I have different access, I can actually connect with the people. So once you connect, then you're connected, and then you can actually go here and download their contact card on your
Okay, Brandon Gearhart. I spoke to him a couple days ago. I told him about the meetup. It's great that he's
yeah.
coming. Wells Fargo. He's a commercial
Yeah.
banker, so if you need anything, he's there. He's a good guy. Good guy.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
guy.
That's good to know. I'm excited to meet him. And a chef, Tasha.
Tasha Roby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
Love
I
it.
spoke to her as well. Maybe on Instagram. I
Awesome.
think. Nice.
And this is how it's all laid out, right? Like you get to see who they're from, what company they work for, who they are. If you even want to go to it, is it worth it? Do you not RSVP, or do you still
Yeah.
RSVP and go? And then once you go, you just check in, and then you can start connecting with the people, and you have 24 hours after the date to go back on
It's
here
it's
because
really important that if you do RSVP, you have to go.
yes. Yeah. You do
No
RSVP, you
excuses.
have
You,
to
you have
go.
to be there. You made the
Yeah,
commitment. You have to
that's
be
it.
there.
But yeah, so that's kind of how like the meetup works. I think this is like great because again, like it forces people to go, which is what everyone wants. Everyone wants people there, and
Yeah.
the connecting aspect of it is what we love. So. That's kind of it in like a nutshell. We have a lot more stuff. It's just I would rather just show
Yeah,
the basics
definitely.
here now.
Yeah, you guys
Um,
should definitely check it out and go through. And if you have any issues or questions about it, or something you'd like to see improvements on, or something else you'd like added, please feel free to reach out to Eric because he's always
yeah,
looking to improve and try to make a better experience for everybody. Because it's grown into this to where it has all these other tools and everything that are going to be resources for everybody to use and connect. So definitely
Correct.
reach out to him. And there it is. Ask us.
Yeah. So if you do, you can just go to Ask Us, and then you can submit a suggestion if you wanted to. And once you submit a suggestion, you can just upload like a screenshot or whatever, or like Eric should get a tan. You know,
He lives in
um,
Florida.
he is so white that the
Oh.
the pictures it's see through. Uh, Hold on. This picture is see through. Right? People are gonna think I don't know how to spell, which is true. Pretty
Yeah,
bad.
well, that's what
Pretty,
spell
pretty,
check's for. That's what
pretty
spell check.
bad. And
That's what
so,
spell
and
check's
then you
for.
and you can submit. If this says thank you for your submission. Anyways, yeah. So you can also go here too, or you can just contact me directly at my cell phone or text me. I'll give you, or I can say I don't really care whatever you want me to do, Scott. But
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah,
No, that's really great. So, switching gears a little bit, what are you working on in the real estate world? I know for a
yeah,
while we were talking about some commercial stuff like
yeah.
gas stations. I think you recently sold a duplex, and
Mm-hmm.
you were looking at some other land and some other things, a medical office space and stuff, and gearing more towards the commercial space and stuff.
Yeah.
Which let's explore that a little bit. Are you looking at a lot of different things, or are you kind of niching down into specific assets?
No, I right now my mindset for this year is cash flow. So what I'm looking for are commercial assets are great. Of course. Like for instance, I was just handed yesterday a mixed use unit. So it has a storefront on the bottom that's vacant, and then two ones on top, and a boat ramp, and
Oh,
it's in the Okeechobee City area, so a little bit more
okay.
north. And I need to do some research on it, but that's interesting because then I can sit here and be like, okay, the top already rents for about $40,000 a year. What does the bottom do, right? And honestly, why is it vacant?
Yeah,
Is it even good for a retail shop there? Because
yeah,
it is zoned for that. So it's zoned for retail. It's zoned for actually a lot of other things that I got a little excited for because now it's like going through my head. But for me, it's like, okay, if I can get this property, what else can I do on the bottom for that retail space, right? Do I convert it into, I don't know, a beauty salon, right? Or have them come. Does it even require? Does that area even want that? So
yeah,
like I gotta dive deep onto
yeah.
like
You got to find
what
best use case really
correct,
for that area.
correct.
I've found because I know a lot of people that do retail. There's, people always say retail is down. I said, well, if you're a storefront for selling retail products, you're not going to compete with Best Buy or Walmart or Amazon. But like these specialized services, like a dog grooming, pet grooming, barber shop, nail shop, specialized stuff that people need, like people in the community. People are always going to go to the barber shop in the area. They're always going to go to the nail salon. They're always going to go to the hair salon. They're always going to go to those specialized services because you can't really outsource that. They do have stuff will come to your house, but a lot of times you don't want people coming to your house or anything like that. We don't have robots coming to our house to cut our hair yet.
Not yet.
Not
Yeah, I'd say
yet.
not yet.
Maybe
Not yet.
not yet.
I want that.
Yeah,
I want haircuts. I
I,
want robot haircuts
I
and
would like one right now because it looks like I need a haircut. So
I want a robot laundry
lawn care,
lawn
lawn
laundry and
care,
lawn care.
lawn care, house
Yeah.
cleaning, barber. Yeah, I want it all. I want a driverless car, a driverless boat. That'll put me out of business. on the yacht captain stuff, but driverless boat, driverless plane. We can already, I mean, the planes can already take off and land themselves, but the pilots still land the plane, so we probably won't be out of it
I
for the
I won't
boats yet.
I won't I yeah I won't fly on a plane without a human pilot on it. So
Well, they already fly 99%, of they only land and take off. So, and they
sure,
still can,
but you
but
know, you want someone there,
yeah,
like you want someone there.
you
So
want somebody there and sober.
yeah. Oh, really? I thought they like take like smoke breaks and drink
Yeah,
breaks.
they should. It's a pretty
Like,
stressful job, so I'm okay with them taking smoke breaks.
um, but yeah, man. So for me right now, it's just kind of like what you said. Looking at the properties and what's the best use for that. I actually this is of course everyone is all gun ho on storage units and whatnot, and of course it's like okay, but if you still find a piece of property, obviously industrial use
Yeah,
or whatever
warehouses are
that
good.
yeah yeah
Yeah.
yeah then that's great. And then I found this company called Boxwell, and what they do is it folds up, so they deliver it to you and it folds up and then they install it kind of like the other homes that they have and
Oh,
stuff.
really?
But this is interesting because it's not that expensive, right? And
Yeah.
if you can fit like 100 of them on that 1 acre, and it makes sense, price per square foot. That's what you really want to know in that county or in that city. What's the price per square foot that you can charge?
Yeah.
And if it makes sense, I've been kind of looking at that. I'm not gonna lie, because
Yeah.
if you can like go to the city and tell them that
Yeah.
this is what you want
Well,
to do and this is how we're gonna do it. Well, we're gonna secure it this way because it's in Florida. It's not up in up
yeah.
northeast or whatever. And then see where it goes. I mean, it's a inexpensive way of getting into that industry, right?
Well,
So.
there's also you should look at some areas that are unrestricted that are out in the county that don't necessarily need to go through the city or the county or what have you. If it's unrestricted, then you can have raw land. But the issue will be power and water and sewer and all those things you'll need to get to that property. So that is also another issue that you need to solve for that. But some of these fold-up houses are sustainable. They have those composting toilets and all these other things and everything else. But you will need to figure out the power and water issue, which can be something to solve too. But it just depends on how friendly the city and the county are for these places. Some of them they need housing so desperately that things like that. But a lot of times you'll also run into the not in my backyard. People don't necessarily want what looks like some temporary housing, but if it's near a Lake Okeechobee, they may like to have that where you could actually have a good portion of them being short-term, mid-term rentals where you're just really building the pads and
Yeah.
something like that. That could be an interesting product because in Okeechobee and North, like we were discussing before we got on there, it's all ripe for just it's probably going to explode with population because a lot of people are moving out of South Florida and moving a little further north where it's more affordable. You can get land, sometimes some cases the schools are better, and those kind of things. That's why we moved a little bit further north, schools and a
Mhm.
little less density, closer to the beach, that kind of stuff. But I think there's a room for it to explore a lot of different ideas, like you're saying. And now's the time you just have to figure out what works for you.
So I'm not associated with this company at all, but I want to share my screen. This is the company I was talking about. It's called Boxwell, and I just want to give you an idea of kind of like what I was thinking, as in, getting it to the plot of land at a pretty good rate, right? Um, having them set it up, maybe putting electric. These things don't need electric, right? Most of them. Some of them do. I mean, you're gonna have to have exit signs, etc., and you have to build a road and then the fence, all that stuff. But this is kind of like what I was looking at. Um, you see this?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like these things are they ship them and then they open up like that. They have roll up doors, so it's a storage unit.
Hmm.
Yeah. And there's people who are doing this. There's developers that they told me about, like up in North Carolina, and they just buy a couple acres and then throw like a couple hundred of those things on it. But of
Yeah.
course, there's always all of the how much could you get per square foot per unit, and
Yeah. And if it's too remote, you're probably not going to have big of a market there. But
yeah,
if you're close to it, it just depends. Most of it storage anyway is really just mostly steel and stuff anyway, most of
sure,
the time. And
yeah, it's not rocket
there,
science, so.
you will, it just depends if you want to you'll need power if you need to do climate control and stuff like that. A lot of people want, especially if you're near larger population center, they're going to want climate controlled.
Yeah.
But it just all depends. It's an interesting concept for sure. I mean, it just
Right.
shows that there's so many different ways to do it. I mean,
So many
yeah,
different ways. And that's like the whole point of investing is seeing how much you don't need to put down. You know?
yeah,
And that's where it comes down. It's like buying a piece of property for whatever it is, and then figuring out how much it is per unit, and then you can even from what the company told me. Again, I don't know, but these are financeable, right? So
oh, okay,
yeah, so because it's going on a lot, it's being bolted down. They said that banks do like them because they are storage units, and it's like a no-brainer. And it's financeable. So depending on how you kind of skin the cat there, you could probably get it with very with not so much money down. Let's say.
yeah, and you could
So
probably build a few, rent them out, refinance them, do another one.
yeah,
Kind of roll them into individual plots and just keep buying
yeah,
more, rent them, refinance, and
yeah.
just keep.
Yeah, and then of course, I mean, for me, 3 to 5 years be an exit. 3 to 5 years, and you've already produced a ton of value,
Mhm.
right? By getting not a plain piece of property and then putting those on there, doing all the infrastructure, and then 5 years later, I'm sure you can sell that for a good amount of money. So
Yeah, you
um,
should be
that
able to.
that's kind of, again, that's something that I've been looking at to do. What else? And then just cash flow in businesses, man. It doesn't have to be in real estate, right? Like I'm partnered with a friend of mine, and we are doing something pretty unique and different. Um, it's signed, sealed, but not delivered. So I don't really want to go into it that much right now, but
That'll be for the
uh,
next episode.
that'll be for the
That'll be
next
for the next
episode,
episode.
and when we had some amazing progress with that. So, very excited, and like right now, I just think it's also the creative. It's not even I'm looking at only commercial. I'm still looking at residential multifamilies, and seeing how many days that these properties have been on the market for, and then
It's quite a
going
lot.
going
Yeah,
to the broker, going to the seller, and saying, "Hey, have you thought about seller financing, owner financing, or even lease to own?" Right?
yeah,
I like the lease to own option more in the commercial space because it's kind of what they do anyways, but like leasing.
yeah,
But
yeah. The
you
seller
could,
finance option is much more popular in
yeah,
commercial
yeah,
space, especially some of the smaller mom and pop stuff too, because it's hard to get bank financing for a lot of that stuff. And
yeah.
there are a lot of properties there that definitely have some. There's some bandwidth there for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's kind of and then right now I've been hunting every day. I give myself about 2, 3 hours a day just to go online, start hunting for some deals, start hunting for some seller financing. I don't even at this point, $1 million, 800,000. I don't really even I care about the price, but at the same time, if it says seller financing and it's doable and the numbers make sense, then who cares, right? You can
Yeah.
create the terms.
Yeah, the price is relative. The cash flow is most important. If it's if it can cash flow, buy it. If you buy it right, it'll cash flow for a long time if you buy it right. And the cash flow is king. You don't want to buy anything where you're going in the pocket every month. That's you don't want to get emotional about it. You want to make sure it cash flows. If it doesn't cash flow, just move on. If you follow up with them later, and if it comes back around, you can always readjust.
That is true, and that is very true. But I think Scott right now, like if we're like yesterday at the Miami meetup, we had a Midtown Miami meetup that we had. Um, they basically someone brand new to real estate investing asked me like, so is it the time to buy? So it's
Always times by.
always the question, right? Everyone does say, "Oh, it's the time to buy," but I said it differently. I said, "Well, I think it is because people are now they're sitting on the market longer. Definitely, I'm not just saying this because I don't know. I do know because it happened to me. My duplex was on the market for 250 days, so the market changed. I don't care. People could argue with me with that, but it did change, and it's going to change more. So I strongly believe that right now, if you're in it newer or you're trying to add more properties to your portfolio, this is it. This is the time to just start dialing, talking to the brokers, seeing what you can do or the sellers, and
Yeah,
seeing if you can be creative because they both want to get out of it. It's for sale for
yeah,
a reason, all right? And you come up with terms, man. So I think it's a great time to start just looking, and then just
yeah.
start making offers.
Even if it's even if it's a bad, not necessarily a great market where you are, because it's all location, location, location. In your area, you have to be in the game. You have to be. You can't catch the wave from the beach. You have to be in the water to catch the wave. So keep doing the reps. Keep looking. It might take you more. Sometimes it takes you more to filter through, but you aren't going to know what a good deal is if you're not in there actively looking and making offers and putting together all the tools you need, like your finances, your down payment, your financial relationship with your bankers or your partners or what have you. If you're not in there doing that, then you're going to miss. You can't real estate's not something where you can just jump in and buy something. You'll probably end up doing something not as well as if you're in there making those offers, because then you'll get to know what the market is, see what the market is. And where I live is a different market from where you are in Fort Lauderdale, and we're seeing similar things. And then residential is different from office. Some of the urban office stuff is tanking in the large metro areas, but like the smaller office that's 2,000 square feet, those are relatively full because those smaller mom and pop businesses still need to have an office, and they can't necessarily run their business out of home, and
Yeah.
some storage is doing well, some medical office is doing well, some other, light industrial warehouse places, especially along the I-95 corridor, is full. You can't find anything. And the prices for that are really well, and so do your due diligence, check, do like what Eric's saying, just keep staying in the game, keep going, keep making offers, keep plugging away, and keep going to meetups, keep networking. You'll find something. Now is always the time if, to find a good deal. I mean, it might be harder to find something, but I mean, if people are still flipping houses in your area, there's deals. If people are still buying houses, maybe not transacting a lot, or buying multifamily, not transacting a lot, people are still finding deals.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree.
Well, I mean, this has been great again. It's always great having you on, always great catching up with you. You know, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, where's the best place for them to find you?
Yes, you can either text me at my number, 754-581-4688, or you can send me an email address. Likemindedpro@gmail.com is the easiest. And then, yeah, you can also find us at likemindedpro.com on Instagram. You can send me a message there. So a couple different, but yeah, again, Scott, always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me on here. Keep this up, man. That's great. I've listened to
Thank you,
to
man.
to to your podcast, man. You have some really good people on here, so I appreciate you having me on here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that coming from you. That means a lot. You know, we're just getting started. We got a long way to go. So thanks again. And this is Scott Kidd, the yacht captain and investor. And as always, the best investment you can make is the one you make in yourself. So keep investing wisely in yourself. See you
Love
guys
it.
next time.
Adios.
All right.